So yes, on this day in British history, and it was on this day 3 years ago that a force for good got Sturgeon Telt. Okay, we got Sturgeon Telt because she had the cheek to come to Glasgow in George Square to a rally which was organised by the national newspaper. And we knew she was going to come, so we thought, well, we have to be there and we have to tell her that her anti-British agitation is not welcome in the great British city of Glasgow. And goodness me, we did that very well. She was at one end with other sort of SNP ne'er-do-wells talking and giving us the misfortune of their opinion. And we were at the other end, and the police had totally locked down George Square. You couldn't get in or out, and there was an awful lot of horses and vans at every entrance into the square, and a cordon of police in front of us. And it was really dramatic. You should have been there if you weren't already there. If you were there, please tell us what you thought about it in the comments. But it was extremely good going. Let's see some of the photographs. Check that out. We had around 200 people there. And what we did as well, everybody had a whistle. So that as soon as Sturgeon came on, we started just blowing the whistle on her. And okay, another photograph. If you're on TikTok, you won't see these photographs because these are on YouTube. Okay, that's another just shot. There's a shot. You can see the Scottish nationalists there in front of us. And okay, that's quite a good shot. Now these photographs were used by the Daily Express. I'll get on to what happened with the Daily Express in a moment. Okay, that's me talking. That's some of our supporters there. I had a handheld megaphone. Okay, and that's an excellent photograph. SNP liars, Scotland's shame, from one of our very happy warriors, as they say, one of our great supporters there. SNP liars, Scotland's shame, aren't they indeed? And that's a really good picture that just shows the number of us. You can see the police there in the middle. Okay. Now, we've got some good publicity. With the Sun newspaper ran a couple of reports. Here's one. Get Sturgeon Telt is the name of the counter-protest held by a force for good who describe themselves as a proudly unionist campaign group. AFFG director Alistair McConnachie said, quote, "We will be there to tell her that she does not speak for all of Scotland. Her MPs and MSPs do not speak for all of Scotland and have no right to presume so. This is especially so on Brexit, where they do not even speak for all their own supporters. Glasgow is a great British city, and if she thinks she can swan in and start agitating to break up Britain as if us unionists are going to sit quietly and accept it, then she's got another think coming. We will be there to tell her it's time to get Indy in the bin." Great quote there used by that newspaper. Okay, and this was a report that appeared on the day. And they say that this Mr. FK 65 of Dumfries, Scottish nationalist, said, "I'm disappointed I couldn't hear much." And then Nurse SB 29, Scottish nationalist, also struggled to make out Miss Sturgeon's address, but she said, "That's not important, I wanted to be here," blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom it says, Leader Alistair McConnachie yelled through a microphone. Yelled through a microphone. Well, I guess I did yell to an extent, while others waved flags and blew whistles. Mr. McConnachie said, quote, "Our message to Nicola Sturgeon is that she doesn't speak for all of Scotland. The unionist majority is often silent, but not today." Robert 57 said, "I'm loyal to Britain and Scotland, and I don't want independence." Indeed. So a good question about a good I think that's the actual picture from the actual article that appeared in The Sun, and there down in the bottom left you can see one of our fantastic supporters festooned with our flags, and it says Nick's indie vow as event hit by pro-union demo. Event hit by pro-union demo. Oh, that's quite a good headline. Okay. Harvey has just sent us a message. Harvey, I'll get onto you in a minute about that. That's me yelling, presumably, through the microphone in a nice autumn day. Okay. Now, this was the story, right? Let me talk about this story. The Daily Express ran an amazingly good story with the headline, Nicola Sturgeon humiliated as Union Jack waving Unionists protest independence rally. And that, as you can see there, was the most read in politics on the Daily Express site. Number one, Nicola Sturgeon humiliated. And that stood as the trending article on the Express website for 36 hours. And then what happened was this really nasty SNP MSP, a real fanatic called Michael Russell, put out a tweet saying that our photographs were faked. Okay, now let's see his tweet here. Michael Russell, the pictures in this are faked. What a cheek. How on earth do you fake photographs? So what then happened was somebody, and it was possibly, shall we say, him, contacted the Express, told them that our photographs were photoshopped, and the Express took the article down. Okay? In other words, this person, Michael Russell, who, goodness knows, like he's been an MSP in Scotland for years. What a shameful reflection on people in Scotland that they would vote for this man, who is basically a very censorious anti-unionist, who claims that these photographs were faked and got the Express to take this article down. Its most successful article for almost 48 hours. He got it, or somebody connected with him, got the Express to take the article down. So now you can only find that article on the Wayback Machine, and we've got the address there which for that article, which you'll find on the Wayback Machine, and you'll also find the pictures that he claimed were photoshopped and faked, and of course they were not. But that was a wake-up call to us about the extent to which the SNP will attempt to dominate the national press as well if they get stories that they don't like. Okay? No doubt there'll be more of that in the future as well.